Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gehenna Gaming Saturday Night One Shots. Tonight, we are playing a tale of folk horror called Solemn Vale. Solemn Vale is an original game that uses a unique system from Dirty Vortex, and is currently available on Kickstarter. If you can, and backer kit, I believe the Kickstarter ended, but you can get it off backer kit, I believe, until it goes live and you can purchase it. Tonight, I am joined by a few familiar faces, as well as two of our good friends from Vorpal Tales, who I will allow to introduce themselves first. Tyler, if you would like to do that.
Hi, I'm Tyler, Elder Jacko's Online. Help run Vorpal Tales, where you can come watch us play games a ridiculous amount of times a week, 12 at the moment. And when I'm not there, I'm usually hanging out over here or at Carrying Comfort Studios, so check them all out.
Mm. And hi, I'm Savannah. You can find me online at Miss Emo Fox. I play about 4 games a week over on Vorpal Tales, and when I'm not doing that, you can sometimes find me on my own Twitch channel, playing games horribly.
That's a mood. And then joining me is one of the other team members from Gehenna Gaming, Ellie.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I am the events manager for Gehenna Gaming. I am also the storyteller for ATL by night, and I've never played this before, so I'm super excited.
And last but not least, one of our wonderful cast members from Gehenna Academy, our Monsterhearts game, which is currently in its second season on Mondays, is Chris.
Hi everybody, my name is Chris. As he said, I am on Gehenna Academy. I usually play Isaac over there. And if you want to find me on Twitter, I am at VO_Cologne, COLON, and I'm excited.
Excellent. So before we jump into our game and I allow all of our wonderful people to introduce their characters, I want to remind folks that this is a horror tabletop RPG stream. We will be touching on sensitive topics and things of that nature. So if you need to step away or take a break, feel free to do so. Please take care of yourself first. As the saying goes, put on your own oxygen mask, and we will still be here when you feel ready to come back. And if you need to, you can check out that link I dropped in chat for mental health resources as well. I would also like to thank our stream sponsor for Saturday Night One Shots and the other streams that Gehenna Gaming does, Elderwood Academy. You can find all their wonderful stuff over at the link I'm about to drop in chat. But Elderwood, we are an affiliate with Elderwood, and if you are looking to buy some of their wonderful TTRPG accessories, you can use the code Gehenna 2021 at checkout to get free shipping and also help support us. Now, on with the show. Solemn Vale is a game that is actually fairly simplistic. All of our players have 3 stats: body, mind, and spirit, as well as a pool called Weird. They have assigned points to each of their stats, and it's a very narrative-focused game, but when they do encounter challenges that require a dice roll, they will roll 1d6, and they can spend points from those abilities to increase the results of their die roll before they roll. And there will be difficulties that they need to overcome quite regularly in this scenario. Every scene, there will be a pool of weird points that they can purchase. They've all started with 1, because things are a little weird in the town of Solemn Vale. The weird points that they purchase can be used to do a variety of things, including increase the results of a challenge roll after they've rolled, spend different ability points on a roll. So if it's a body challenge roll, but they have a really high mind skill and they want to use that instead, they can take a weird point and explain to me why they're using mind instead. They can also do it to spend points on a challenge they aren't present for. So say Savannah has a body challenge that she doesn't think she's going to be able to beat and doesn't have a high body score. Ellie could say, oh, before that happened, I actually did these things at that location. I had actually already moved that beam out of the way, so I'm actually going to take a weird point and spend some challenge points to help Savannah out. You can also do it to increase or reduce the results of a single weird roll by 1. So sometimes our players will have to roll their weird pool. So they'll roll a number of dice equal to their current pool, tell me the results, and things will happen. They can buy a point of weird to add or remove dice from that pool. So they would roll, and they'd be like, oh, I actually want to take a die. I'm going to take one of my 6s away. I'm going to add a die and roll another one, sort of thing. They can do that by purchasing weird. And then finally, they can kind of influence the narrative a little bit. Say a previously encountered allied or friendly denizen of Solemn Vale suddenly appears in the scene who isn't there, and maybe helps them out in some way for either a physical challenge, a mental challenge, or a soul challenge. So those are all the things they can buy weird points from the scene pool to change, and as we get rolling, I will cover those again to remind them of what they are, and also remind you so you can understand how this game is played. Before we jump into the description of the scenario and anything else, do any of my players have any questions or anything they would like to cover?
I will have so many as we play.
Right.
Good. That will help people learn how to play the game. Then, without any further ado, let's enter the town of Solemn Vale. Solemn Vale, in this game, is a sleepy, quiet, very small seaside village on the northeast coast of England. So, kind of right up where the border of the UK and Scotland is. There's a lot of fishing villages, farmland. It's very sleepy. It's very quiet. Not a lot happens there. And if anyone has ever seen movies like The Wicker Man or Hot Fuzz, they'll know exactly what kind of town I'm talking about. So, our players are actually playing villagers in the town of Solemn Vale. Everything is normal. Everything is peaceful. Nothing bad happens in Solemn Vale. In fact, you've won Most Perfect Town awards several times in the past decade. Who are you all? What do you do in the town of Solemn Vale? Let's start with Chris. Introduce your character for us.
My name is Henry Morrison. I am the librarian at the village or town. I primarily am involved with the care of books, even though this place is quite dull and I wish to go and see the world, but you know, my family needs somebody to look over the library, so that's what I'm doing.
Fantastic. And Savannah, how about you?
I am playing Amy Mitchell. She is the local school teacher and probably one of Henry's only regulars to the library. She has a somewhat off-putting, cheery disposition for the local town. She's always wearing bright colors, saying hi to the children, throwing little cheery events, which the children adore, and the adults are like, "What are you doing?" So.
Fantastic. And next, Ellie. Who are you playing tonight?
I am going to be playing Judy, the owner of the bar down by the docks. She knows everybody's business and doesn't like to share a single drop of it.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Tyler.
I am playing Ian Lawrence, who's actually an American, even though that's the most British of names. He married a nurse in the Big Two who died during the Spanish flu epidemic. So he stayed, and he is a purveyor of antiques and rare and strange things, especially books.
Wonderful. This evening, it is late. It is later in the evening. Judy, the bar's still open, but it is nearing closing time. What time does the bar close in Solemn Vale in the evenings?
It's kind of a flexible time depending on when people stop paying me. Usually around 2 a.m.
Okay, so it's probably 1 at this point. starting to clean up a little bit. Only really your regulars are in at this point. And for the rest of you, Amy, Henry, and Ian, would you be a regular at the dock bar? It's not a lot to do in the late evenings at Solemn Vale. It's pretty quiet at this point, so.
Is it a school night?
No, it is a Friday, actually.
So Amy would probably be there, unwinding from the school week. Probably like she's one of those teachers who like takes Friday off and then she kind of works the weekends tutoring. So this was her one chance to be an adult.
Fantastic. How about Henry and Ian? Would you be at the bar or would you be at home? Either is acceptable.
I would say that I'm at the bar because I'm trying to drink away my problems because I want to leave, but I can't. And I'm thinking, I need drinks to think.
I'm probably here almost every night unless I'm away on business.
Excellent.
Drinking away the war.
Excellent. You're all in the bar. These are your regulars. Besides the group you have gathered before you, Judy, there's also another local, kind of a shepherd. He lives outside of town, but he usually spends his evening here right up until closing. And his name is Joe. Joe Tanner. That's basically it. This is your regular crew, especially on a Friday night. Occasionally you have a town kid who tries to trick you into thinking he turned 18 recently, but you know better.
No, I remember all their birthdays.
Yep. All 9 of the kids that live in this town. And what are you all doing? Lovely, chilly evening.
I'm probably starting to clean all of the beer troughs and leaving one open for the rest of them.
I would say, if it's okay with Henry, that Amy's picked up on you trying to drink some thought into you. And she's just right before Judy started cleaning up, she ordered a couple of shots for you guys to take to try to, I guess, get that little ticker going.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Okay. Wonderful. And Ian, what are you up to? I will say there's probably a TV showing a rerun of the recent football game. And there be a jukebox, or would you just have your own music playing, Judy?
Oh, it's my one radio station that doesn't turn away from the oldies, but the footy game is louder.
Okay, so other than that,
I've got a tumbler and an actual bottle of brandy that's mostly gone that I bought from Judy, and I'm staring at the TV, but also through it.
okay. As you are all sitting quietly, you hear faintly over the sound of the TV in the distance the sound of a police siren. Now, there is a small jail in town, basically a sheriff's office for American versions, but local constables, 3 of them. And they have a small office with some cells kind of in the center of town. And you hear a siren from one of their cars off in the distance.
That's not good. And Judy's gonna count everyone and be like, all my regulars are here, I'm fine. Doesn't concern me.
They're not getting in trouble somewhere else.
Yeah. I got all my ducks at the lake. We're good.
I think Henry would kind of just snoop over and just look out the window, just kind of put the shade down. You see what he sees.
Okay. Past the reflection of one of the neon bar signs, kind of up the road, You know, it's a fog has rolled into town. Oh, it's kind of thick. Not not enough so you can't see, but it's normal this time of year. But you're like, oh, it wasn't on the weather forecast. And you do pick up that blue light up the hill, away from the docks. The bar is basically right there, down by where all the fishing boats sit. Heading toward the center of town.
Like, we can tell the car itself is heading towards the center of town.
Yep. So they would be heading
Nice.
back to kind of the constable's office.
Judy is gonna kind of like lean just to peek out the window a little bit. Just...
You think one of the kids got in trouble again?
That's probably likely. Probably fucking ruled the neighbor's house or something.
He might have been
deep.
streaking again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that firsthand. It wasn't pretty.
And then
And oh no, sorry.
the siren ends.
Okay.
And everything goes quiet again.
Amy starts to like pack up her purse. She has kind of like that mother hen mentality, and if one of the kids' parents isn't gonna bail them out of jail, she will. So she like packs up and looks at Judy, and she's like, I should probably go figure out who it was, just in case.
If everybody's done here, I might go with you just in case they get a little bit rowdy.
Sure.
Nothing else to do tonight, so it's better than thinking about my future. So, yeah, I'll join.
She, like Amy like pats Henry on the shoulder, like my poor man.
Yeah.
And
Henry,
from-
how does the booze make you worse, love?
I think I just need it. It helps. It helps not think about it too much.
All right.
from the far end of the bar where Joe Tanner is asleep, you hear a snore.
And she's just gonna walk over and pound her fist 3 times on the bar top directly by his head. Just, oi, Joe, let's go.
But
Come on.
What?
It's time to go home. Time to go home, love.
He kind of stumbles out, gets on his bicycle,
Every night.
does
that man.
does a bit of a Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down for a minute while he's pedaling, and then gets his way going.
Find him in the fucking trash in the morning.
Probably.
And you're coming with or going home?
Get all the best stories. I'm going with you.
Aye. Let's go then.
Right. And you all start walking towards the center of the village. It's not a long
I
walk.
do lock and deadbolt the bar before we leave.
Okay, good.
I
good.
don't trust you as a GM.
Me.
It's
Okay.
very strange that you lock your place. There's really nobody in town. I mean, it's really, it seems overkill, to be very honest.
I mean, if she didn't, I think her supply would be dwindled down to nothing, especially with you around, Henry.
Well, I'm not an alcoholic. You don't have to be so mean. Jeez.
No, but you seem to want to get your mind straight a lot lately, so
If
And you all head towards the center of town.
Mhm.
It's a short walk. It is chilly out. I hope you all brought jackets. And it is foggy. A nice dense mist.
It's England. We all have raincoats.
right?
A nice dense mist has rolled in off the ocean.
We have raincoats just to walk through the fog.
You would be wet if you didn't.
Yes.
You make it, and you notice that one of the constable's cars is pulled up in front of the station. The lights are all on, and one of the doors is actually still open on the cop car. It looks like they were in a hurry for some reason.
I would be familiar with the officers that work in this area, yeah?
You would all be familiar with their names, yeah.
What is the name of the one that likely owns this car?
So the head constable is a Jim brewer. And then there's two kind of deputies. Let's say their names are Constable Forthright and Constable Frost.
All right. Just Jim. Jim, you left your car open. Where are you?
You go walking up to the station.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna close the car door and glance inside.
Pretty normal. Nothing out of the ordinary inside. You head up. You open the door looking for Jim. And you hear sounds of some sort of commotion. Not like a physical altercation, but arguing. Sounds like maybe if they brought someone in, he's resisting, something like that.
Like,
It's coming from deeper into the station.
Does it sound like disorderly resisting or like altercation resisting?
Disorderly.
Okay.
You hear Jim saying, "Come on, get in there. We gotta fingerprint you. Give us some sort of idea of who you are." And the person just not being forthcoming with any of it.
Oh, Jim, you need help back there.
Yeah. Oh, and you see Constable Frost swing around. He's like, we just picked up someone on a drunken disorderly, we think. Not giving us any information. Kind of causing a ruckus. Was trying to break into the school, actually.
Drunken disorderly, not from my bar. I'm offended.
Also, why would he be getting into the school? It's a Friday.
Hi, Miss Michelle. No, we're not sure. We're not sure. He won't tell us anything. We're gonna lock him in the drunk tank.
I mean,
can I try to peek around the corner to see?
Yeah.
James?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've all kind of like shuffled in at this point, and you can see Head Constable Brewer and the other one who just kind of struggling. The guy isn't resisting, but he's like dragging his feet. He's not like letting them walk him to a cell. So they're kind of struggling.
Pulling the dead weight trick.
Yeah, he's a big guy. You see a guy in a pea coat, a gray pea coat, pretty heavy set. Not really being super helpful.
We recognize this person? Any of us?
None of you recognize him. And you would if he was from town, which means he is an outsider. And outsiders are rare in the town of Solemn Vale.
Judy's gonna be a little overly familiar, as she do, and just walk towards the whole situation.
Okay.
And is it Jim that's fussing with him?
Mm-hmm. It's Jim and the younger constable, Constable Forthright.
All right. All right, Jim Forthright, you need some help here.
Jim's like,
You don't look from around here.
No, Miss Judy. I think we've got it. We're just trying to get him in, and as they do, the guy finally like lets them push him into like the drunk tank, and he just kind of slowly turns around. And this is like I said, he's big. He's probably like 6'4", pretty hefty man.
Big man.
He older, probably in his late 40s, and unshaven. Judy, will you give me a mental challenge roll?
Okay.
Very quickly.
Just roll one dice for that.
So just roll 1d6. And this you're picking up on something here. So
I got a 2.
That's actually enough. This is a pretty trivial one. You do notice this man is probably, you've seen a lot of drunks. This man's not drunk. He hasn't been drinking. He looks stone sober. And he slowly just kind of turns around, kind of giving that Kubrick stare from under his brow at the two officers, and he just slowly sits down. Slowly sits down. The bench creaks as he does, and he just crosses his arms and leans back against the wall.
Amy shuffles forward behind Judy because Judy gives her that like oomph of confidence. She like peeks around Judy. She's just like, "Where are you visiting from? Maybe I could help you something since help you find something since you were trying to go to the school?
Raises a brow and looks at you for a minute, like he's weighing you, and doesn't say anything.
Oh, you're one of them types. All right.
Jeez, Constable, did you bring in a man or a bear?
That's a good question. I'm not sure at this point. If he spoke, maybe we can make a decision on it. He sits down, and you notice the Jim pull out a flask and pour a little bit into a cup and take a sip from it.
Oi, Jim, what you say we get a little social time with this stranger? You know, I got a way of talking to people.
Well, if he won't give us any information or give us any help, not much we can do other than hold him overnight or call in down to the city, get someone up here. So,
Just let us talk to him. We'll just socialize a little bit. You know, I mean, I'm the only one that knows about that thing that you like that even your wife doesn't know.
Amy just like blushes and like turns away from Judy, like, oh Lord.
This woman's like a dark book of secrets.
Yes,
You
she
never know.
is.
We might just social the conversation out of him. He might. You're a fucking Bobby. He doesn't want to talk to you.
Hi, you're right. All right. Well, two-way. It's an open gate. It's open bars. He can hear you. But please don't go past the white line on the floor. You know.
Right, just shuffle on. Have you had coffee?
Hey, Frost. He kind of motions to like stick around, and he does. He goes off into one of their side rooms for a break room. Forthright shuffles along with him. Constable Frost, just sitting in his at his desk. He's got a newspaper open, and you notice a book and another book kind of like on his desk. It's a quiet town. There's not a lot to do. He kind of lifts the paper back up, goes back to reading.
Judy, is this a wise idea? I mean, you own a bar. You're not necessarily a constable. I mean, do you really want to get
The most
involved?
exciting thing that's happened in 6 months. Sure, I want to talk to the weird man behind the bars. No offense.
He looks like he could snap my man too. That doesn't exactly look like the guy you want to talk to.
I mean,
Henry, you're a librarian, love. We could all snap you in too.
That's true. Yes.
God love you, but no.
Just be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Oi. If you don't want to tell me where you're from, and honestly, I don't give a shit because I imagine you'll be gone in the morning since you didn't get what you came for. But we all got some reasonable sway here. If you tell us what you need, we can probably get it for you so that you can get the fuck out of here.
especially if it's like especially if it's in the school. I
Hey, that's
have
her domain.
keys.
And he stretches. Oh. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know what I came here for, so I don't think you can help.
That's why we asked.
And the American over there is really into strange things, so he might know.
I want to size him up
You
and make it obvious I'm doing that.
scoot over within visual range of him, line of sight. Yeah. Are you trying to get more than just the general like stature and stance of him, or are you just sizing him up to make it a point of not being intimidated by his size?
Is he actually relaxed?
He looks
Seem like a predator.
okay. Yeah. Why don't you give me a mind challenge roll?
Okay.
And I'll let you know this is a little bit harder than trivial.
I'll spend a point then.
Okay.
6 and a 5.
So you roll once, and you add 1 to the results of the die.
7, sorry.
Okay, 7? Yeah, that's more than enough. He does seem incredibly relaxed. He's leaning back. It's not that, like, false bravado thing that people do where they're like pretending to be relaxed, but they're actually wound tight. You, as you mentioned, served in the war. You have combat experience. This man has probably killed people. He does look like a threat. He looks like a apex predator in a room of prey.
I don't think you came here for the scenery.
Yeah, and what gave you that impression?
Just
You're
something
built
I
like
see
a
in your
log.
eyes.
Also, you weren't at the bar, and that's, you know, the nicest sight to see in town.
Oh,
At this
Oh,
time
you're
of
so
night.
kind.
At this time of night.
I'll take a compliment where I get it.
I look at the deputy. Why'd you let them arrest you? I emphasize the word let.
Oh,
he smirks when you say that. Perhaps this is exactly where I want it to be.
ugh. Fucking kid. Alright.
At this point, he does actually size all of you up. Henry, are you within line of sight of the man, or are you kind of hanging
Oh,
back?
I'm kind of like by the edge of the door, so I'm like kind of like.
He actually takes a moment to size you all up, and it's very obvious he's doing it.
Yeah, Judy at least looks like she lifts, 8 kegs a day.
At that, Amy like kind of like tries to like straighten up her shirt and like tries to look presentable.
Ian has a very small body rating, but it's because he took shrapnel to the entirety of his left leg and has a pronounced limp and cannot run. But he looks him right in the eye and is not intimidated.
Henry just dips. Just nope.
He makes a note of that as well, and he says, "You all look more or less capable in your own ways. I'll give you a warning. There is a storm coming."
Oh.
Like a hurricane? Like did we miss something on the channel?
I didn't take you for a weather man.
My god, you think you're a Doctor Who villain? Stop it.
Something bad is going to happen here.
Oh, you got a mustache to twirl too? You're talking like a supervillain. Be clear.
I would suggest that you all pack your cars and you leave town.
I would suggest the same for you, love.
Well, as you can see, not so easy for me to do.
Okay, but what did you want in the school?
I don't think he wanted anything in the school.
I think he's trying to buy the school. Maybe he's one of those corporate types and he's trying to build like a.
No. I think you did it to get caught. I know enough teenagers.
He just taps the side of his nose, leans back again.
Oh, that does make sense.
He's a teenager, really?
No,
Oh.
that he wants you
Oh.
to get caught, Henry.
The most learned man on this island. Do you see what we got going?
No, it does make sense. Because that's where the teenagers go to get in trouble.
Yeah. All right, you got anything more than riddles?
I gave you my warning.
But there's
Aye.
more than just us in this town.
You think they would all just pack up and leave?
Well, given the right amount of cash, I think anybody would move anyway.
Henry, we know you're eager.
I'm just pointing it out in case he's looking for suggestions in terms of how to free up the market space around here.
You're
I don't
being so
think-
kind to us. What should we call you?
You can call me John.
Sean.
Strong name.
I'm trying really hard not to say Jon Snow. Not gonna lie.
I'm trying hard not to say Little John. Where's Robin Hood then?
I think he ate him.
Certainly seems so. Well, while I'm having fun bullying you, I really need you to either say something or we can bounce you out of here. I can do open heart surgery with a shattered rolling rock, so
Like I said, I'm exactly where I want to be.
Why would you
He
want to
shrugs.
be in the place where a storm is rolling in, as you put it?
Yeah, that does seem very dumb. Usually you want to go out the way, and if you know so much about it, it's like you really would come here unless you really, have something to do.
Know a collector when I see one. He's here for something.
Can I
He
try to?
must think the storm is going to bring it in.
there's always scrappers at the end of a storm looking for broken bits, copper, things they can sell, trade. Whatever
had a
he thinks
cousin-
is going to happen here, he thinks he's going to get a piece of it.
Also, what were you going to say, Amy? I rolled all over you.
It's fine. I was gonna ask, Sir Game Master, is there anything that could I roll to try to get some more
Yes.
out of him?
Yes. If you would like to make a roll to kind of just talk him into being more talkative,
Yes.
we would let's call it a soul roll, actually.
Okay. I'm going to assume that this is going to be difficult.
Do you want to spend some points before you roll?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna spend Uno points against my soul.
Okay.
Oh, and that was a 6, so 7.
7.
Ah.
You keep chatting with him for a while. And you don't quite feel like you're getting through to him. If you would like to, we're only off by 1. So you could take a point of weird from the scene pool and increase it again.
And then would I have to roll again?
Nope. That would just
Okay.
increase your score to 8.
And that pool is communal.
Yes,
between
so
all of
the
us.
total one will go down to 4 for this scene, but yours personal one will go up to 2 for the rest of the game.
Okay. Is that okay?
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
everyone.
This is
Well-
a game where I would recommend don't ask.
Okay.
Don't ask if everyone's cool with you taking the weird. The scene pool replenishes every scene. So
Got it.
there's you're always going to have access to a point or two, more or less. And the more personal weird you have, the more interesting the game gets as you progress. So
Okay. So I just bumped it up to 2. So So now that totals 8.
okay. After a little bit, he says, all right, let's listen. If you'll stop prattling on. How do I explain this?
I just imagine that she just started talking about all the kids and she got to the S names by the time this
Oh, yeah, no.
happened.
You didn't wear
Just
him down
wore
by being.
him down.
Yeah, you didn't wear him
Good
down.
God, man, please just answer her question.
It wasn't charisma that broke this man.
Mm-mm.
It was the ability of a school teacher to not stop talking. How do I explain this? Pinches the bridge of his nose. Just the. Oop. I think we lost Tyler, but he should be back. Oh, nope. There we go. All right. Hold on 1 second, folks. We'll be right back while we wait for Tyler. And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Gremlins in the machines. But we're gonna pick up right where we left off. So, as I said, he just pinches his nose. He's like, "All right, just stop talking, please. Thank you." If it's helpful to you, I am looking for someone, and I think he is on his way here. He is here to cause trouble. And I would like to stop that.
And how do you know this someone? She holds up her wallet full of kids' pictures again.
Please answer. Please answer,
We
please.
go way back. He's a brother of sorts.
Like a brother in arms, or like a brother from another mother, or, like...
Brother in arms is probably more accurate.
Like in like a book club, or like the military.
Henry, does he look like he's in a book club?
You never know. We don't judge. You never know. People enjoy books.
I am actually a voracious reader. Thank you very much.
You see?
Why don't you invite him to your afternoon book club with tea and crumpets then?
Maybe. Depends.
So, Mr. Sir, since we
Smith.
don't... Smith. John
Wait.
Smith?
Your name is John Smith.
John Smith. Alright. So, there's a storm a-brewing. There's a gentleman coming into town who is your brother-in-arms, who may or may not be coming to cause mischief, and you want to stop him from doing so.
Yep, that about sums it up.
That about sums nothing up.
So why do you want to be in the jail then, if you're waiting for his arrival?
Because this is the first place he'll stop.
So, Storm McGee is going to come into town, come to the police station first and foremost, and then just rain unholy hell.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
That's how they topple governments, right? Like they go for the places, keep the order, so that everybody else can't call for help. You know what I mean?
Why here?
I don't know. I honestly do not know.
So then how'd you get wind of it to be here? How do you know so much about where to be and then where he's going to stop first, and enough foresight to get yourself arrested to be where he wants?
May or may not watch too many crime shows in my spare time, but this is where the weapons are. Just saying.
Oh, Amy, I haven't let you into the good parts of the bar yet.
Oh,
Sorry, what?
Some of you become right assholes when you're drunk.
that is true.
So what do you have? Is the question. What do you? Okay, we'll talk about that another time.
I think a better
Nothing
question
you
would,
need to touch,
would
Henry.
be what does Judy not have in this particular scenario?
That's a valid one.
Should we
I want to
call
know
the
how you know-
government?
I couldn't tell if your smirk was in or out of character for the For Mr. Smith.
Out of character.
Okay, I was just like, maybe? No.
That was all me.
So, Mr. Smith. So, how do you know all this?
As cliche as it sounds, my job to know this. It's what I do.
Keep going.
You're an MI6 agent? Like 007?
He wanders around causing trouble, and I stop him when I can.
So you're like Sherlock Holmes and what was his brother's name?
Moriarty.
Moriarty.
That's,
Yes.
If that
So
helps.
So you're Sherlock.
That explains the disposition then.
He's more like Watson.
More like Sherlock's brother.
Oh, gross.
But then why would you be trying to stop? So, but Sherlock normally does the good things, and you do the bad things. But you don't sound like you're here to do a bad thing.
Brother never did bad things. He just did necessary things that were dirty.
And evil such a
Look at Henry. He kind of
restricting
is James
word.
Bond.
I mean, he's right.
How long you been doing this dance with this person?
A long time.
He keep giving us vague answers, and it's just not helping us here.
Ian, would you give me a soul roll? And I will let you know that this is very challenging. But you are a historian, or an antiquarian of sorts. You might be able to pick up on it.
Spend 2,
You're gonna spend 2, okay.
and I'll take a point from the pool.
Okay. Preemptively.
Yes.
Alright. Just to increase your die roll again?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna increase it by 3.
That's a lot.
8.
8 is enough. You're starting to notice little things about him. The way he speaks. I cannot replicate it personally, but it's an older accent. It's
Okay.
not native to this area. It is British, but it's older. And the coat he's wearing, a few decades out of fashion. The way he's dressed, the way his boots. His boots are probably as old as you are.
Huh.
They look like the boots look like they served in World War II. And he's just sitting there, relaxed as can be.
So if you're
He-
here to help and catch someone, why are you being such an obstinate ass?
Because I don't want you here when I do.
You know, if you're more forthright with people and less of an obstinate ass, that actually might help your cause.
Do you really think that if I came into town and called a town meeting and let everyone know that someone was going to come here and kill everyone, that they would leave and let me just deal with it?
I'm sorry, you said kill. I thought you said he was just gonna cause chaos like a teenager. didn't
Do you
say
hear
anything about
Henry back
killing.
there? We would absolutely run.
Would you?
This town
He
is
just
full of
looks at
people
you.
like Henry. They
He-
would run like hell.
He literally just looks at you and he's like, would you, though?
I wouldn't, but Henry and the rest would.
I would
wouldn't.
very much.
It'd probably be me and Ian here, I'll be honest.
I mean, and he did warn us, Henry, like 10 minutes ago. He said this guy was going to come to the police station. I don't think it was for
I
tea.
thought it was like, oh, you've been punked or something like that. I didn't know he was gonna be killing people.
This is where all the guns are.
That's what I
Well.
said.
Some.
This is Britain. There's like a gun in town.
Yes.
Well, but this is rural. There are more hunting rifles than...
Yeah, that's what Judy has. Judy has hunting rifles.
There's the occasional villager who has more hunting rifles, and then there are children who live here, so...
Right, so big man coming to kill us all because he fancies that. And you're our great hero who is of absolutely no fucking help at all. And we're supposed to...
Leave.
Okay, but you don't want to call a town meeting and tell everyone to leave because you think we won't. But you want us to leave. But you don't want to tell us to leave because you don't think we'll leave. Do you see where this is not quite... The math ain't mathin'.
I have a
You just
tutoring
hear him
class
what?
on Tuesdays.
You hear him muttering to himself under his breath for a minute.
No, you don't get to mother. You don't get to mother after you just told us we're gonna die. So you need to speak up. You need to clean yourself up. You need to get up. I don't know what you're gonna do with your big stature, but you need to do something.
How is Constable Frost reacting to this whole thing as he sits at his desk?
Yeah, I was about
with
to
the
ask if they could hear
newspaper?
us.
Do you glance over?
Yeah.
You see the back of a newspaper. And as
Hi.
everyone gets quiet for a minute, you hear faintly music.
Yeah, he's
Ha.
like, fuck this, I'm turning on Black Flag.
Earbuds in, feet on desk, newspaper in front of him. He doesn't care. They think this guy's
It's-
on something.
It's a miracle this town even functions, to be very honest.
I mean, not really, considering half the people are. You know what? Never mind.
So everybody's supposed to get out, but not be warned to get out.
From my experience, no one really does. I'm warning you because you seem smart enough to have a sense of self-preservation.
Is there like a weather siren we could sound off?
I don't know. Let's see if there is. Whoever feels like it, give me a mind roll. If there is, it hasn't been used in a long time.
I shall do it.
Actually, I was going to ask if we have a very loud dock bell for new arrivals.
That you definitely do.
But is that? I don't think that's gonna make
How
people
far
like,
is
want
that?
to go.
There's also a foghorn docks.
Yep.
More ships that could get everyone's attention.
I got something else that can get everyone's attention.
I don't think you slipping a little nip at 2 a.m. in the morning is going to get. Oh, not that. Okay.
No, I'm talking about guns, Amy.
Oh. Yes.
Don't you remember there was that time that fucking deer just started just rampaging through the street and I had to take it down?
Oh, I do remember that.
And it was
Took out
chasing me.
6 mailboxes. No reason at all.
I mean, Henry got his exercise that day. He did.
Oh,
He really
yeah.
did. You ran like hell.
I had to run like hell. He was on my ass. Like he was right there. I was this close to dying.
You went for it. Fucking Olympics would have been proud.
I mean, Henry, that's why I told you not to, run around with corn in your pants. The deer.
Look, I had to
I
work. It
did
was
warn
late.
you.
I was late. Jeez. Okay, back to the matter of hand. We're gonna die, so we need to do something.
Did you still want me to roll that mind?
Yes, please. If you would like to. You don't need to spend anything.
5.
5? You've lived here your whole life. You remember. Yeah, they're at the docks. There's a foghorn. It could be used as a weather siren, for inclement weather. The occasional hurricane does come up to England.
Stick my head out to the other end of the station and yell for the sheriff. Hey, anything else weird happening tonight?
After a minute, he kind of shuffles back out from he's an older man. Shuffles back out from the break room, sipping a cup of coffee. What?
Anything else weird happening tonight?
No? Same as usual.
Skeptical glance at Judy.
I mean,
What you thinking, Ian?
I mean, this guy says that chupacabras are coming or something. Seems like a perfectly normal night to me. Maybe he just wants attention. But then again, why lie about this?
it's like a pretty big lie.
It's either the lie of a madman or 100% correct. Either way, we should probably be armed.
Man has too tall of a stature and too calm of a demeanor to be lying. To be very honest with yourselves, I think he's
Sure.
telling the truth.
Sheriff, have you patted him down? Because, you know, most Van Helsings come armed.
Yeah, of course. He, the only stuff he had a pocket knife and some lint and a receipt from a diner at the edge of town.
So you
Oh, he
stopped at a
already ate the
diner
diner.
and had a pocket knife?
Amy leans over to Judy. I wonder if he stashed some stuff somewhere,
Hmm.
like a go bag.
How'd you get here?
Walked.
Walked. Okay.
Okay, Rambo.
I buy that, Incredible Hulk. Well, where'd you long walk from?
South.
You know what? You remind me of my third husband, and there's a reason that man's not breathing.
So you, John Smith, walked south.
Oh, wait, what'd you call him?
Yeah.
You hear the sheriff from behind you. Did he told you his name?
I don't really think it's his name. His name, he said, was John Smith. I
Oh.
mean, that doesn't sound, you know.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like he thinks it's fucking Port Royal in here.
The sheriff turns around and heads back towards the break room. He's like, let me know if he says anything useful.
Did Judy?
Aye, Sheriff. He says we're all going to die.
Oh, Doomsayer.
I would
Yeah.
really believe that. Let's be very, you know, we should take this warning ahead of time instead of, you know, like all the other hundreds of times. This one seems a little bit more serious.
Henry, if you want to leave, just move out of town. The sheriff says, and he shuts the door to the break room as he exits scene.
You know what, Judy? Even if he is lying, the guns are still more entertaining than a normal Tuesday night, Friday night.
Aye, that's true. I just got some good rounds in case the deer comes back again.
Are you serious right now? A man is coming to kill us, and you're gonna shoot him? You're gonna shoot him? Is that the plan?
Yes, it's called You Kill the Killer, Henry.
What do you want to do? Talk him to death?
No, I think we should
You
just.
know,
let
I
everybody
find that
out.
to be very effective. Okay.
Henry here wants to pull a fucking Agatha Christie tried and true 12 stabs to the chest.
Oh my god.
Henry, it's like your books. Just for once, be the protagonist.
But they die. I don't want to die.
Look, I used a multiple syllable word for you.
She did.
Thanks. I'm a little hurt, I guess.
But the foghorn, if we wanted to get everyone's attention, that's the best bet.
Yeah, we can call a meeting, and if you want to get to the foghorn, Ian and I can grab the hunting rifles. Just in
Amy
case.
looks over at Henry. Yeah, we can go to the foghorn.
Yes, we should go to the foghorn. I can't really. I don't know how to use a gun, so.
We know.
All right.
Henry, do you need some laudanum? I've got plenty.
I got my inhaler. Don't worry, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. And you all head out of
As you go to leave, I yell one last thing after Henry. Remember, Dracula arrived by boat.
Oh, you're
What if
not
it's Dracula?
helping.
What if it's
Ian.
Dracula? Is it a vampire? Is a vampire coming to kill us? I don't want to die by a vampire.
This laughing's in character. Judy's losing it.
this laughing. John Smith is losing it as you all are leaving. He's like,
Henry, why don't you count backwards from 500? That should calm you down.
Okay. Okay, 500. 499. It just keeps counting.
And as you all exit the police station, I believe Tyler and Savannah, Ian and Amy, you both have 2 personal
Yes.
weird now.
Yeah, I have 2.
Why don't one of you give me a weird roll as our scene ends and we move to
You
the
can do
next
it.
one.
Did you want me to add them up?
No, tell me the individual numbers, please.
Individual numbers is a 4 and a 2.
Fantastic.
I don't like how you said fantastic.
All right, so the scene weird pool will replenish. It's back up to 5, so plenty to buy. Judy and Ian, you are heading towards the bar, and Amy and Henry, you are heading toward also the docks, but the other end of the docks, where kind of like the dock master's office is, which would be where they have the foghorn, where they have the computer that controls things, makes the shipping manifests, schedules, all that stuff. Because it's a decent sized dock. It's mostly just fishing, but sometimes you do get like boats that come up from in with supplies and things like that because it's easier than train. So, what do you do? Let's start the new scene with Judy and Ian. You're heading towards the bar. You all walk towards the docks, and then you kind of split off. Judy and Ian, you're heading over towards the bar, and you probably hear Henry still counting to himself as he and Amy work their way.
300! 299!
That kid one day, I think his heart's just gonna burst.
Eh,
You take stock in this.
I don't know yet, but I am an American. I like guns.
That's fair. I grew up around here, but more in the woods, so hunting is pretty much what I like to do.
And as the two of you approach the bar, lights on side. Did you leave the lights on, or did you completely shut up for the night?
There were just the basic like floodlights left on inside.
Okay. You see the floodlights on inside. Normal.
I'm gonna unlock and go to the bar where the glasses are hanging from the top shelf.
Mhm.
And then above the shelf with the beer glasses is a like pull out
Yep.
cabinet.
Yep.
Open the cabinet and grab 2 hunting rifles. Then going to close and lock that cabinet back, and then go back to the office and grab 1 shotgun.
Okay. So
And I'll pass a hunting rifle off to Ian.
first thing you notice is the bar is unlocked.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab those guns quicker.
And they're there.
I'm gonna look around while she does that.
The door was broken in fact.
Oh,
Oh, that changes things a lot.
Okay. So the first thing you notice is someone has broken in. They have kicked the door open of the bar.
First thing I'm gonna check is the liquor supply.
Appears to all be there.
Okay.
At least
Cut on all the lights.
At least on a quick, eyeball, nothing appears missing. There's not a large amount of it missing.
I'm gonna cut on every light, as usually she has a lot of lights for cleaning and setting up the bar for the day, and then cuts half of them off once people actually come in.
Okay.
So just cut on full lights. What's the condition of the bar?
Exact same as you left it. And when you do eventually go to check for those guns, they are there.
Good, because that's a separate locked cabinet. So she is going to take the 2 hunting rifles, go back to her office, and pick up a 3rd hunting rifle, a shotgun, and
A lot of guns.
hunting, and 2 deer skinning knives.
Meanwhile, Ian, you're looking around.
She makes her own steaks.
Ian, you're looking around. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Maybe someone was pissed that the bar was closed, kicked the door, and accidentally broke it. Maybe some kids were just messing around. Everything is exactly how it was when everyone left the bar earlier in the evening,
Including the bathrooms.
including the bathrooms.
It's all clear out here. Did you check your storage room?
Not yet. I'll go check it.
Okay. You head back to the storage room. And this is where something looks a little different. You notice one of the cases of whiskey is open when it shouldn't have been, and there are a couple bottles missing. That's it.
So, like, a case of whiskey is open and there's a couple bottles pulled out of it?
Yep. And
Bottles
missing.
completely gone or
Completely
bottles
gone.
drank and left? Okay.
Completely gone.
Molotovs.
Year are we playing this in?
Modern.
You got a security system?
No.
Those guns are the security
Yeah, I was gonna say,
system.
looks at the giant pile of guns in Britain. Oh, okay.
This is actually more guns than you've seen in a long time.
She never said she got them legally. She never said she hunts legally either. She just doesn't trust diner food.
That's fair.
I'm gonna load a rifle and be like, I guess we are going hunting.
Look, I don't like taking chances, you know.
And on that note, we'll switch over to Amy and Henry as they approach the dockmaster's office. So, walking, still very foggy, it's cold, very wet in. And you do see a light on in the dockmaster's office as you approach it, kind of cutting through the fog.
All right. She'll just make her way into the office because I'm assuming the controls for the foghorn are thereabouts.
Yeah, you've been in it before. Like, you actually toured it with students to show them how it works, since most of them will end up working here.
Yeah. Sad. That's sad. Yeah, so she just she's listening to Henry count behind her. And then she just, makes her way towards the front door of the harbor master.
Okay. You walk up, and the door is unlocked. Open it, walk right in. It's a small office like building. So there's a couple different rooms. This is just kind of an entryway because there would be staff that works here during the busy season. But there's no one here right now.
Okay.
Do we know that if anybody works here, like somebody's here always, or is it
There's not always
whatever?
someone here. Like, for example, there
Okay.
aren't any ships out right now, so no one needs to be manning the foghorn. No one needs to be doing any of the additional stuff. So there's no there shouldn't be anyone here right now. Sometimes there's someone around cleaning or doing late inventory when there are fishing boats coming in and out, but
Then she just makes her way to the controls.
Okay.
Unless she catches something out of the ordinary.
you walk back towards the office that has a big window that overlooks the water, and you open the door and you actually do see someone sitting in one of the chairs at the computer there.
Her normal brain takes over and just thinks it's insert harbor master, and she's just like, "Oh, you scared me sitting here in the dark."
No reply. He's kind of heads down like he's asleep.
Oh, I don't like this.
Okay, let's do what we're here for.
She spins the chair.
As you spin the chair, the motion causes his head to loll to the side and almost completely off. As his throat is just torn from side to side, like almost like his head was sawed off.
I think Mr. Smith's brother's already in town.
I think I'm gonna have to count to 100 again.
She like takes a steely breath. You said we were in the modern
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's modern.
world.
Yeah.
She takes out her phone and texts Judy. I'm assuming Judy has a cell phone.
Yeah, it's an old one.
Motorola Razr.
Pager.
A sidekick.
She just texts, too late, brother in town. Send.
Takes a second. Signal's not great. It's part of the
Yeah.
country, but
But also just near the ocean, you always have spotty service.
Yeah.
yep. So that's gonna go through in a minute.
Yeah.
What do you do? You recognize the person in the chair. It's not the harbor master. It's just like one of the staff people that works in the office. They were probably just here late, keeping an eye on things.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do I... Well, now she's on high alert. She closes, she makes sure Henry's in the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
She's
Henry,
not
what are you
gonna
doing? Other than panicking.
He's trying to hold in his bark, but he's just like, where's the controls? Where are the controls? Where are the controls?
She pulls Henry into the room, kind of takes a quick glance, making sure that there's not like a shadowy figure in the corner. And then she like locks them in the control room so like people can't just like come in behind us.
Locking yourself in with the dead body.
What if he's inside? What if they're inside? We're locked in with them.
Henry, the controls are over there. Did you take the tour when you were younger?
Of course I took the tour. This is the only bloody thing to do in this town.
Then turn it on.
Okay. I'll turn it on. I'll turn it on. I'll turn it on. You see,
And she's like going back and forth because she's like, do I really want people running around crazy when this guy is out in town? Because it's just gonna be harder to catch him.
Henry's just full on just looking for the controls. He's gonna
Okay.
turn it
Henry,
on.
why don't you give me a mind challenge roll?
Okay.
It's been a decent amount of years since you took this tour, and you weren't paying attention when you did do it.
I'll take one from mind, and I'll also take one
Uh,
from the pool scene as well. So
Oh, okay. So you're gonna
Amy
increase
takes
yours
this
to two.
tour like 8 times a year.
I got a that's 6.
It's a 6. That's enough. Yeah. You flick on one thing and it starts. A radio, like a CB radio, clicks on, just a bunch of static for a second. You're like, oh god, and then you flick that off, and you flick another thing, and then you flick that off, and because that didn't do anything, and then you flick another one, and you hear like, it's not quite an air raid siren, but it's similar. It's like that fog, like much deeper, but it's kind of like that. It sounds like it's spinning in a circle siren noise.
That plays for about 5 seconds before Amy thinks that this is a bad idea and clicks it off.
What are you doing? Are you insane?
So
Maybe.
right around the time that you get your phone vibrates, because I'm assuming it's on vibrate, not
Yeah.
ringtone, Judy. You hear the like foghorn sirens start to like spin up and then die. And your phone vibrates and you have a text message from Amy that reads,
Too late. Brother in town.
Gonna read. Oh fuck! I think they got Amy. Siren just stopped as she said too late. So
Well, that means they definitely got Henry.
I'm glad we got these guns in.
Yeah,
Let's make our way to the siren.
that's where everybody else is probably gonna go.
I mean, at bare minimum, we should bury Amy and Henry. They deserve it.
Guess school's closed
And I'm
on
just
Monday.
gonna text back, thinking Amy's dead. I'm just gonna text back. I shouldn't have called you annoying all those times. You're actually very nice. You will be missed.
Amazing. Well, in a minute, Amy, you'll get that text message, and you two start walking toward the dockmaster's, the harbor master's office. Dockmaster, it's not a harbor.
Hey.
All right. So, Henry. Amy just reached over and slapped the siren back off.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Henry, think about it. If we cause mass panic, it's just going to allow him to kill more people all willy-nilly, and he could get like lost in a crowd.
So we should just let everybody stay at home so they can be murdered in their sleep. Is that
No,
a better
I'm just
way of
saying
going?
it might be easier to find him if everyone is safe in their homes, and then we can see like a guy creeping around in the dark.
I guess that's reasonable. That's something. I feel like that's something they would do in a book. Yeah, I guess. Did you text Judy?
I did text Judy.
Did you say anything back to you?
No, not yet.
And your phone vibrates.
Oh,
Or do you have a ringtone on?
she has like a little like. Huh. What? She like.
Amazing.
What is it? Have they been caught? Are we dead already? Did they get them?
No, but I think they think I'm dead.
What the?
She like
What?
shows her phone.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Henry. She like looks for like a paper bag or something to like for him to like fucking hyperventilate into.
Well, there's one sitting next to the body, slumped over in the chair. If you want to grab that, probably had
They
his
don't-
lunch in it. Maybe his dinner.
Blood.
Might have some blood splatter on it now.
She like tips it over and like wrings it out. Just breathe.
It's been a very rough time, Julie.
Savannah is secretly waiting for Henry to notice that there's blood on the bag, but Amy.
It's too good.
Eventually, Henry, you will probably notice that, but I'll let you cover that on your own.
Have your peaceful moment.
Judy and Ian, you are walking across the dock. As I said, foggy, air is sticking to you. It's very damp. And you see the dockmaster's office building. The lights are on.
You see shadows moving?
No, not really.
Okay. Should be ready to shoot in case he's still in there.
Yeah, Judy's gonna have it loaded, but proper trigger discipline, and just has it pointed down but ready.
I guess Amy would be just like kind of like peeking out into the actual building.
Did you turn all the lights on in the building, or did you just come in?
She just came in.
Okay, so all that's on is like kind of the desk lamps in the entryway, which you can see from the outside, and then there's an outside light. You don't see anyone moving around. You don't see anything unusual.
Okay. Okay. Henry. I think he came and did his business and left. So let's just go back to the bar and figure it out from there. And she'll like unlatch the deadbolt from the door. Maybe. And open it up. To start moving back through the building.
And it would follow.
Okay. So you two start making your way back into the rest of the office building, but you're being cautious. Around this time, you would hear the front door open as Judy and Ian, I assume, walk in, or are you just outside?
I'm gonna walk in.
Okay.
Do we see that it's Judy and Ian, or do we just
Not yet.
hear?
It's kind of around a corner.
Okay, then I throw Henry onto the ground. duck behind a desk.
You hear a thud come from around the corner, Judy and Ian, and a gasp.
Safety off.
Yeah. Wait. If this is whoever fucking killed Amy, you better get out here right now.
Nobody killed me, Judy.
I'm not dead yet.
Well, you sent a text that said it was too late, and then the siren cut off. What the fuck am I supposed to think?
Because there's a dead body in the control room.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And
No,
I thought
really.
maybe she like gets up now. She doesn't even bother trying to help Henry. And I thought that maybe sounding off the siren would be a bad idea, because then that would just cause more chaos and then potentially just more targets for him to.
I quietly say to Judy, this is mildly disappointing.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, thank you, Judy. We value your friendship, and I'm glad
It was a
that
very nice text that Judy sent to Amy.
It was.
Yeah.
This is probably the nicest thing she's ever said.
I'm going to need you to delete it now that you're alive.
Of course.
a
of
screenshot
course.
of that, just in case, blackmail. You see how she likes it.
Little blackmail. No.
Henry, do you need a Xanax?
At this point, I'm just here, and there's no, until this is over, I'm not coming down from this. Be very honest with you, Xanax is not going to do anything.
I've got harder stuff.
I've got my paper, but no, I'm good. I am good. I have my nice paper bag that apparently has blood on it. So, oh, this
You
is
just like see like Amy just like.
So what's the
You-
plan? Because clearly this guy or group of guys can decapitate people, which is really insane.
He's
Yeah.
decapitated.
the wasn't very much attached to the body anymore.
Henry's
Come on.
making me use all my big words tonight. Well,
I'm
that's
gonna go examine the body.
yeah.
All right, so Ian and Judy start heading back to where the body is. Amy and Henry, what are you doing at this point?
I'm sticking next to the people with
They have,
guns.
they have the guns.
So- All four of you file back over into that room, and you see much of what I described before. Everything is fine. The body is now facing the door. There's blood pouring down, that poured down the front of him, sticky. So it hasn't completely dried. So, you might be able to gauge if you make the appropriate roll, like how long ago this happened. But yeah, no, it's basically just skin and some sinew and muscle tissue holding the head on at this
So-
point.
Unless it was Mr. Smith who did it and not his brother.
So I'm gonna get real close and try to see what kind of thing caused the wound, having been in a war and not gonna throw up everywhere.
I'm keeping an eye out on the hallway while they do this.
Okay.
Just being lookout.
Okay.
Like clean cut, jagged, serrated, torn.
So if you'd like to, are you just trying to see what did it, or are you trying to see like how long ago it happened and stuff like that?
What did it?
This knife. Yeah, this was a knife. It's pretty clean, but it's a little like, one of the knives where there's probably some serration on it. So then he sawed.
I do look at Amy and say, he did say that the supervillain would come for the police station first. Clearly not. Maybe it
Well,
was
and-
him.
Unless it was Mr. Smith who
Exactly.
did this.
This is your 101 warfare. You take out the sentry and the guards, and you just have at it with the town.
Apparently
I've
you
got an
steal
idea.
whiskey
We
from the
send
bar.
Henry out into the night and we follow the screams.
They
Why
stole
do we
whiskey
have
from
to
the
send
bar.
me out? Why can't we send something? Why can't we just throw the body
You're the
out
most
there?
likely to scream. And you're louder than the foghorn.
That's true. That's true.
God love you.
yes.
Yeah, 2
But-
bottles. Was it the cheap whiskey or the good stuff, Judy?
3
There's the
bottles.
good stuff.
Hmm.
I just got that stuff in from Glasgow.
Yeah, it was 18-year-old scotch.
Mm.
I'm
Could they
offended now.
be making?
You don't take the good shit for Molotofs.
Maybe
You
they're crazy
don't,
like that. Maybe they're like
but-
criminals with class.
You want the cheaper, it gets a bigger boom.
You should know.
Listen. There were rough times back in London. Listen. Sometimes Manu loses and you just have to do some property damage about it, okay?
Oh,
Fair.
it sounds a little bit like defacing property, but I feel like you wouldn't care.
Oh, Henry, you've never been to a footy game. It's all right.
It's just insult after insult. I am a person. don't
You are a
understand
person,
this.
Henry. You're a grade A person. You're too good for Solemn Vale. That's why I pick on you for not leaving.
It's true.
We shouldn't be focusing on my problems. I feel that maybe we could focus on the dead body in the room.
What you want me to do about it?
I mean, what are we gonna do? He's killed one person. How do we know he didn't go back to the station and kill everybody else there?
Good point.
How do we know he's been to the station in the first place? Oh, let's go check it out, Scooby Gang.
Actually, you said there was a CB radio on one of the switches?
Yep.
She switches that on and starts flickering through the channels to see if she can get the police radio.
Why don't you give me a mind roll?
Amy is the smartest of us all.
This is going to be challenging.
Okay.
Maybe
Then-
not supernaturally challenging, but a
Okay.
genuine challenge.
Then I'm gonna spend a point. Maybe. What did I roll? Okay, we're gonna. Okay, that's going to be a 4.
I do have a question in terms of the point spending. Or was I supposed to say before or after to
When you're
introduce something?
When you're spending the point when you're making a challenge roll, so you're like spending one of your body points, you say that before you roll.
Oh.
If you want to increase it after you roll, you have to take from the weird pool.
And that counts towards like if I did something way in the past in order to introduce it now to help out.
Oh, if you're trying to do that, you can do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a point of weird to do that now.
I
then-
say I take a point of weird, and I will say Henry went to her school one of these days and it's like, "Hello class, today I'm going to teach you how to use radio. So what you're going to do here is you're going to turn this little knob here
Okay.
and
Okay.
the whole lesson on how to use it."
So you're gonna take a point of weird. What's your personal pool at now? 4? 3? Your personal
is-
pool, because you took
my
one
personal
already.
pool, it was 2.
So now
and
it's at 3.
1. Oh,
No,
3.
no, you're adding to your weird pool.
Oh, okay. So
And
it's
now,
3
now you have to spend mind to help Amy. So how much mind do you want to spend to add to her roll?
Just 1.
Just 1. So that'll bring her up to a 5. We'll do it.
Okay.
You flick around for a while, and then you get like the you pick up a ship. Maybe you pick up a truck like way off on the highway, the motorway.
Mhm.
And then eventually you do pick up and you hear a little bit of chatter. Now, keep in mind, to know you've got to the radio band, the police band, they would need to be talking on it. But you do actually pick up a call going out. They're like, "Hey, we just wanted to check in and see if there was a time frame on when someone could get out here to ID this John Smith we got in here." And you hear a reply. You hear a whole back and forth. They're calling a headquarters. Apparently, they're using the police radio to do it. Do something.
Yeah, I know.
So that means he's still in the clink.
Yes.
So this wasn't him.
And they're not dead.
And they're not dead. I was mainly looking for they're not dead. And how old did Ian say that the body
Didn't.
was?
Didn't check
I
that.
didn't, but I'll
Oh.
look at that now.
Oh.
Give me a mind
Now that
roll.
it's relevant.
Now, this is a little bit more challenging. It's been a long time since you've seen
Yeah.
dead body. And while you're calm about it, you're gonna need to roll to see if you can see about how long this happened.
6 without modifiers.
6 without modifiers. That is enough. How long would you all say you've been here? Like Amy and Henry in this building?
30 minutes.
Been about 30 minutes. Which
Yeah, I would say
30.
about, yeah.
I will let
30.
everyone know
Yeah.
that also means it's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point then.
Yeah.
The body's about 45 minutes, maybe less than an hour old.
So definitely Mr. Smith didn't do it.
On the other side of town being arrested then, yeah.
So it's definitely not him. So that's good.
He'd tell us more if we go tell him what's happening and get his blood up.
Maybe.
What if it's one of the villagers? What if somebody was playing the long con and somebody, you know, he's a killer, like the shepherd? Maybe it's Joe. Maybe Joe's a killer.
Joe's too much of a drunkard to pull off slapping a man.
Maybe that's what he wants us to think.
Henry, what if it's
No, I've gave
I'm
him
not
enough.
a killer. I do know how to commit the perfect murder, but I'm not a killer. I do not have the physical embodiment of doing that.
Henry, I believe you. Completely and implicitly.
Thank you.
Should we warn them on the radio?
Or do you think we should go tell them directly? Because if I was a killer, I'd be doing exactly what you're doing right now, listening to the police, figuring out what they know.
Perhaps.
That's right, Henry. I've gone to the library. I've read books.
I know, it's good. You should come more often.
She hangs
No.
up the receiver. Okay, then let's not waste any more time. It's already morning, essentially.
All right. So you're gonna
So
head
on
back to
the way out,
Okay.
Judy's gonna lean over to Ian quietly and go, "What's the over under you think on that? It's Henry."
Depends. We talking Fight Club here? Are there 2 Henrys?
Ah, the side of Henry that can go nuts and just.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
Takes his hand. Oh my god, this is a rough night. This is a
It's
rough
getting
night.
more believable by the moment.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for that Tyler Durd inside.
Amazing. And you all head back to police station. And this scene, the scene weird will refill. And Henry, with your 3 now, I'm going to need you. I think you have the highest at this point. I'm going to need you to make me a weird roll.
So roll 3d6.
Roll 3d6 and just tell me what the individual numbers are.
Alright, I got 2 1s and 1 4.
Okay. 2 1s and 1 4. All right. And before we jump into the next scene, we are going to take a legitimate break this time. So we will step away, use the restroom, get a beverage. I recommend you do the same. Hydrate, get a snack if you need to, but don't go anywhere because we will be back in like 5, 7, whatever minutes for the rest of our one-shot of Solemn Vale. Before I go, I just want to thank everyone who's tuned in so far. I want to thank Broken Golem for the 10 gift subs that he sent out, as well as everyone else who has subscribed tonight. We really appreciate it. It is the last...
And our raiders from Onyx Path. We
Yes.
got raided.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, Raiders from Onyx Path. It is September, so if you are thinking about subscribing and helping support our channel, bringing horror TTRPGs to you, 20% off until the end of the month, which is coming up. So jump on that. And I want to thank our sponsor, Elderwood Academy, which I'll drop a link to when we go on break, for sponsoring us. And you can help support us and get free shipping on all of their amazing dice tomes and other dice trays and other accessories by using the code that you will see when I drop that link. So we are going to go on break. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a few minutes. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you for sticking around. We hope you are enjoying our game so far. We're going to jump into it here in just a minute. But before we do, I do want to say a special thank you here during our mid-roll to some of our patrons over on Patreon. This month, Rob Pontius, Vale, and our friend Aid, or Ashley, who's in some of our games. Thank you all for supporting us over on Patreon. We appreciate it. And for those of you watching, if you want to help us out, we do have a Patreon, which I will drop a link to in a second, but that helps us out a ton, bringing great content to you. So without further ado, let's roll back into it. We are starting a new scene, so the scene weird pool has replenished back up to 5. Remember, you can buy as much of that as you want. Nothing terrible will happen at all. You are heading to the police station, so we'll pick up on your walk there. Judy and Ian, you are both carrying rifles. Did you distribute the other 2 guns to Amy and Henry, or are you holding on to
No.
them? So are you both...
Maybe if I held one in my hands, I might feel a little bit safer.
No, Henry, you'll
Henry.
take off your toe.
The rest of us won't feel safe.
Are you carrying 2 guns, or Judy, are you carrying 3?
No, I've given 2 rifles to Ian. I have rifle and shotgun, and then the knives are in my boots.
Okay, great. Then you will just walking along. It's quiet. It is 3 after 3 a.m. in the morning, but it is quiet. The houses are all dark. You don't see anyone out, which is normal. And you are approaching that police station, which is lit. Still. The cop car's still out front where you shut the door, and you don't see anyone moving inside, but that's not surprising. So it's basically how you left it.
I look at Judy. I look at the 2 rifles I'm carrying. Maybe Amy should report this.
That's probably for the best.
Oh, am I supposed to tell them that there's a in the harbor master's office?
Yes.
Okay. She yes, I am armed with a long wooden ruler.
Fantastic.
Yes. She scurries inside to where she assumed she left all the officers to like the main like floor room where they have like their desks.
Okay. And you see all 3 of them standing around near
Okay,
the
I'm
cell.
just like I'm like
Intentional pregnant pause. No, they're all standing around near the cell door, where the cells are, and they're kind of arguing amongst themselves about what he's told them, and it sounds kind of similar to an argument y'all were having earlier in the evening. So it sounds like he gave them some of the same information he gave you. And there's a break. Jim's like, shut up, just stop. So you're telling us we're supposed to believe that there's some monster coming to town to murder everyone and cause mayhem. That's absurd. We're in the morning. They're gonna send over one of the CSI guys from the city, and we're gonna get some fingerprints from you, whether you like it or not, and we're gonna figure all this out.
While they were having this argument, Amy just kind of like plopped herself on top of a desk.
Okay.
And she's at that pause, she clears her throat.
They
and...
all jump. They're like, oh, Miss Michelle, can we help you? I thought it's pretty late.
I'm here to report a death.
And you hear from the cell, because you can't see him, just that's a snicker. You just
Clark down at the harbor master's office has met an untimely demise. Not by me, I found him.
We
I
would
bet.
assume.
Just a fair warning. Judy and Ian have armed themselves. Henry is hyperventilating, and Mr. Clark was decapitated.
Decapitated?
Decapitated.
All right. You can see that the chief constable brewer is like trying to remember what to do in a situation like this because no one's ever been murdered in town. All right. Frost, get over there. Photos. Control the crime scene. Make sure, confirm everything that Miss Michelle here has told us. Miss Michelle, we're going to need you to stick around, give a statement. You said us. Were there other people there with you?
Henry was there because we were going to
Yes,
set off
Henry.
the foghorn to warn everybody about what Mr. Smith was talking about. But I think we're a little bit too late. So I thought that might be a bad idea.
These can't possibly be... No, these wouldn't be related. That's ridiculous. His story is...
Constable.
I need a drink.
Get a drink.
He starts walking over to his desk. Constable Frost.
I don't believe in coincidences, and a stranger coming into town talking about someone who's about to get murdered, all of us getting murdered, I don't think is a coincidence. But I also know that it wasn't him because he was here. So.
Yes, quite. Well, we'll take care of this. Thank you so much. I'm going to need you to stick around, give your statement. We'll have to make sure that obviously you weren't involved in any way, which I'm sure you're not. But protocol, of course. And he seems very flustered.
As they kind of disperse to go do their own thing, Amy makes a beeline for the cell.
Okay. And you see Smith sitting there, leaning back against the wall. And as soon as you step into view, he looks at you and he says, "Told you so."
I know. So what are you going to do about it? The storm is here, and you're not doing a very good job of containing it.
Well, like I said, he'll be here next.
He was supposed to come here first.
Let me ask you a question. Was anything missing? Because that sounded like he was just having some fun.
I mean, I guess Judy's bar was broken into and 3 bottles of her finest rum? Whiskey? What was taken? Whiskey.
I'm willing to bet it was some scotch. Yeah, that sounds like him. Okay, yep. And at that exact moment, the power in the building goes out. And for those of you outside, all of the lights in the block shut off.
Safety's off.
Also, I just want, just so for the storyteller to know, when she went to the cell, she totally crossed that white line and was at the cell door.
Okay.
Talking to him.
Okay, I'm assuming you did earlier too. Especially when Judy and Ian were over there kind of berating him. I'm assuming you got right up to the bars.
Well, no, he needed a nice, view of all the pictures. Like, I had to make sure he could see.
Yeah, exactly. So you were right there. The lights shut off. For those of you outside, the street lights all go off that are nearby. The external lights in the building go off.
Does it appear to be the whole town power goes out, or
it's
just
hard
this
to tell
block?
in the fog.
Okay.
When the power goes out, what do you all do? Everyone except for Amy. So those of you who are outside.
Safety's off, and I'm real quick going to reach into one boot and pass a deer skinning knife to Ian.
Okay. Inside, Amy, power goes out, and a second later, he is standing at on the other side of the bars, right next to you. He doesn't grab you or anything. He's standing right there.
I'm
just
assuming
looking
you
out.
to me to help you get out?
Oh, I'd be much obliged, ma'am.
Well, no offense to the constables, but I think you can protect me a lot more than they can. And she scurries off to go find the drunk tank keys.
I will have you roll for that in a second. The inside, the constables are. You see one of them pulling a flashlight out, shining it around. He's not really being useful with it, though. They're not prepared for something like this. And Frost, who was getting ready to leave, turns around and says, "Boss, Brewer comes out. He's like, all right, make sure everything's locked up. Lock the doors. If anyone from town comes up, we'll answer questions. But we need to lock this down since we have a potential suspect here in custody. Miss Michelle, where'd you go? It's dark. It's pitch black in here.
I
There's
know.
a flashlight being shined around. Are you staying quiet?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. I'm gonna need you to make a. I will let you pick mind or body roll to either physically search for the keys or try to remember where you saw them get left.
Let's do mind.
Okay. This is going to be very difficult, especially in the dark.
Yes. And I'm going to pre-spend 2 points
Okay.
in my mind pool.
Okay.
As well as preemptively take one from the community.
Okay. So you're going to increase your weird to, I believe, 3 now.
Yes.
Okay. And community pool's down to 4.
I can't leave Henry alone at 3. That's rude. 8.
8. I'll just give you this. You see them hanging off of Chief Constable Brewer's belt. You think you might be able to grab them, but you're gonna need to roll again.
Okay.
While you're doing that, this is gonna be a body roll, by the way.
Of course.
What are the rest? What are the rest of you doing now?
I'm just on guard.
One gun. You have both of you have 2 on you. Just one little gun. Just one gun. I can shoot. That's it.
No,
please.
you can't, Henry.
Just give me the gun, please.
Strongly contemplate using the butt of my rifle on Henry, but I don't. That's what I'm doing.
You
A
should make
knife, at least a knife.
A self-restraint
Something to
roll.
defend myself.
Henry, I'm not giving you a gun.
Oh my god.
There's a reason we got regulations in this country. You know how many quizzes I had to go through to get
Are you
these?
serious right now? Are you really giving me a talk about regulations right now?
Yes.
Are you serious? Look what you're carrying on you.
Yes, and I don't want you to shoot your damn leg off. You're not really much good to me if you're hopping down the street.
Well, I want to just remind everyone that Ian has a noticeable limp, and she gave him a gun. Just remember that. Continue.
Yeah, but Henry would be a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and that's not going to help any of us.
Well, apparently this man that is trying to kill us can decapitate us, so I don't think the leg problem is really my concern.
Well then, figure out something to protect your neck.
Oh my god.
Will they argue? I'm gonna go check out the back door.
Okay, so you're going to actually go around the perimeter of the building.
Yeah.
Excellent. You
Uh-oh.
wander off. Okay, I'll just keep a note.
Uh-oh.
What could go wrong?
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. It's fine.
For Ian, I'm gonna need you to make either a mind or a body roll to kind of keep a lookout on everything.
Do mind.
Hydrate. Yes, sir.
I'll spend a point, because why not? 6.
6. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's dark. It's very dark. And because it's foggy, not much visibility. But you make your way around the building. You look around. See a back door. This is the back door that would kind of lead to the cells in that area. It's very firmly locked, it appears.
gonna wait quietly.
Amy,
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to take those keys, aren't you?
I am.
All right. I was going to need a body roll for that.
Yes. Well, this is the second half of the show. Might as well spend some points.
I would like to remind my players that you can take weird to affect a scene you're not in by like saying that you did something previously ahead of time that would have helped the person. Saying that might be useful in this particular scenario.
Otherwise, Amy's totally gonna get like caught red-handed trying to shimmy some keys. Okay, I'm preemptively spending 1 point a body.
Okay.
Maybe I should spend more. Oh, I didn't have that many to begin with.
I was going to say, I believe you started this game with 3.
I did. Yeah.
Keep in mind, body also represents your health.
This is great. This is fine. Totally great. 5.
5. That is not enough.
I'll spend some weird to help.
Okay. So you can take a point of weird from the pool, so that'll bring you up to 3 as well. Now you need to spend points from one of your stats to influence the scene previously. So we kind of rewind, show like a deleted scene. What did you do that would help Amy out here?
I'll spend a body point. And earlier when he came to refill his flask at the bar, when he was walking up was when I was going to stumble my way to the bathroom, and I ran into him, and we collapsed and body checked each other, and in the process I fell across his belt, mangling the clip that holds the keys.
Okay, fantastic. So that will bring Amy's roll up to a 6. I'll give you a hint. You're 1 point shy. You can also take another point of weird and finish that 1 point.
I could.
Good.
I could. Was not the point of tonight to take weird? Okay.
Yes, it
Let's
is.
go. Let's do it.
Are you like a 5?
That
No.
should be a 4 at this point.
I'm at a 4.
All right.
Let's do it.
So with a 7, you are able to walk over and grab the keys very quietly and sneak back over to the cell.
And I turn the keys. Oh well, before she turns it, she like whispers. She's like, "You're not gonna hurt the constables, right?"
You just hear a quiet no.
Okay. She turns. She like. She tries to like time it where like they're like talking back and forth so they can't hear the click.
Mm-hmm.
As she like slowly like opens up the cell.
Yeah, they're making the constables are not the most.
Astute.
Yeah. Yeah. And you are able to very quickly and easily unlock the door.
She goes to take his hand because I'm assuming she is familiar with the police station layout, and she wants to try to take him out the back.
Okay. You unlock the door, and a very large hand closes on your hand as the door opens.
I didn't realize this was a kink, but now it is.
And he takes the keys away from you.
That's fair. I would also take the keys away from me.
And he very quietly says, "Run."
I'm not gonna argue with the big man. I'm gonna run out the front, no, the back door, because they're all out. The constables are all congregating.
When you run, you hit the door and you open it, an alarm starts going off.
Oopsie.
He's right behind you, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And you both get out of the building as a red floodlight starts flashing and a loud, piercing alarm goes off. This is right around the time, Ian, by the way, where you were moving around behind the building. So, like I said, you get back there, the door seems firmly locked. All of a sudden, it busts open, and Amy and John Smith come running out.
Hand in hand. Ian, it's time to go.
But did you go out the front or the back? I thought they said
Back,
the front.
back.
I
Oh,
went out the back.
Back.
I went out the back door.
As soon as the door opens, whoever comes out first gets the rifle barrel to their head. 'Cause
Oh,
that's where I was
great.
lurking.
Thanks. That's me.
Whichever
So-
of them was on the left.
So, Amy, you come out the door, and there is a gun right there.
Do I see John?
Yeah, well, in a second, because I will give you you can choose to roll, or you can let this happen, because John's meaty hand just comes from around Amy and grabs the barrel of the gun and lifts it up into the air.
Oh, I say, oh, it's you. Here, you need this, and I give him one of the two rifles. That one.
He just one-handed, like, puts it over his shoulder, and he's like, thanks. All right.
Mentally, Amy's like, I knew I picked the right person to protect me.
All right. Well, I
So-
assume you all believe me now?
I believe you. So where would he go next? Besides, he hasn't come here yet.
Why do you think just turn the power off?
Yeah. So are we just gonna like lurk around? Also, we
He's
should
in the
probably
front.
go.
She has a lot more guns.
And she shoves the door closed behind them. And is there any type of thing to like barricade it just a little bit?
Not really.
I didn't think so. I just thought I'd ask. I know how those doors are set up. They're not very easy to prop anything against. So she's like, we need to go, because the constables aren't going to be very happy that I just broke out a prisoner.
John's here to stop this guy. Why would we go if he's coming here?
Well, we need to leave the immediate vicinity unless John wants to go back into the cell.
You all need to leave the immediate vicinity, he says, as he taps the rifle down. Take a look at it, make sure it's loaded. Time for me to hunt. And he turns and starts walking towards the front of the building.
I follow him. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
All right.
Amy like
And you
pitter patters behind him, like, but.
So for Judy and Henry, you see John Smith holding one of your rifles come walking around from the side of the building.
Oh, come on. You gave one to the freaking bear of a criminal, but not me.
He knows how to shoot, I'm sure. What's going on?
Clearly, the villain is coming this way and killing our friends.
Friends is a strong word, but
I might get
Killing
arrested
your
after all
killing
of
your
this is done.
patrons, your money.
yeah.
He's killing business, quite literally.
I may or may not get arrested after all of this is done.
I'll
Just
break
saying.
out, Amy. It's fine.
You're the only elementary school teacher in town. Someone will bail you out.
Maybe the kids might make
Or
a
the
fun.
kids will break you out.
Yeah, that too.
I could just see a bunch of elementary school
What's
kids.
happened so far? What changed your minds, I should say.
Well, you heard me. There was Mr. Clark was decapitated down at the harbor house.
Uh-huh.
And
I
then,
believe you said there was some booze missing.
yeah, 3 bottles of her finest.
That sounds like him.
Scotch.
He starts looking around. I would recommend you all get a safe distance away. Barring that, get in a position to, well, he glances at the guns, turns and looks at Judy. Yours, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
Getting a good place to observe. Maybe you can get a lucky shot off.
I got it.
He just appears to be surveying the area.
So real quick, before we do this,
Mhm.
who is this man?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Well, I think a lot of unbelievable shit has already happened, so
Clock is
humor
dead.
me.
Is he?
Don't worry about Henry. We'll give him an edible in a minute.
This kind of reminds me of that one book with a Nicholas Flamel. Like ancient feuds.
Every 100 years or so,
Ah,
something
have
wakes up.
Oh,
And it eats. Feeds on fear or something.
oh, so Ian and I are safe.
You know what? I have a stronger.
Henry,
not
I'm real worried
stamina.
about you now.
Dude, yeah,
We can't lose you. People gonna read.
I just put my hand over his mouth and look at John and say, "Continue."
And every 100 years or so, I get this feeling in my gut that I need to be in a specific place. I go there. And sometimes I'm too late, and sometimes I find him. And sometimes I'm able to save a few lives.
So is he's just gonna eat till he's full and then go right back in his 100-year hidey hole?
Something like that. Unless I can stop him.
All right.
He eyeballs the shotgun you have on your shoulder. Says, holds out the rifle to you. Like, give me that, please.
You sure?
More stopping power.
It's short range.
Good.
All right.
I don't see Mr. Smith as a long range dude.
I don't have time to explain guns. Take this. I'll take the other rifle.
He checks the ammo in the shotgun. We probably don't have too long. He shut the power off for a reason. Trying to scare the
Clearly.
people inside.
Is he trying to cause hysteria, or is he going to hunt down one by one? Is this a gather the people into one area type of hunt, or
He changes his tactics every time. He could be picking. Sometimes he picks off people one by one. Sometimes he terrorizes the town for days to feed off them. All I know is he typically takes out anyone who's able to fight back. Typically, classes
so
of
he
building.
likes people who fight back?
So maybe
Alright.
Henry is safe.
He looks down at Henry. He's like, "That's a battery."
Battery. All right.
So, let's
Interesting. Did you get all the keys or just the jail key?
Got all the keys.
I have all of the keys.
I look at John and
I
I'm
say
like, well,
and then I point at him.
John pulls the keys out of the pocket of his coat.
John
look
has
at
all
John
the
and say,
keys.
that has all the car keys.
What do you propose?
Can't punch it or stab it or shoot it, so why don't we line the cars up strategically so that if he gets close to the station, we can blow him up?
Fair enough. He tosses the keys to you.
That's what I'm gonna do for a hot minute then.
Okay, can you give me a mind roll just to make sure you do it right, sort of thing? Make sure you
5.
actually are able to do what you think you are able to do,
I got a 5. These alien dice are treating me well.
right? I use them for Warhammer. Anyway, yeah, no, you are able to. it works out pretty well for you, and you line everything up. What does everyone else do in the meantime? I'm giving you some opportunities to prepare for what's coming, what he says is coming.
Can I think of any history that I might have taught that might be useful in this situation?
Go ahead and give me a mind roll.
Okay. I'll just do a straight roll.
Okay.
Maybe 6. These dice like me, apparently.
Local folklore for England
Mm-hmm.
says, it varies, but you've obviously heard of stories of like the Black Dog and Loch Ness and bog witches.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lot of very common stuff, but in one textbook there was a story, and it was kind of just a scary story, but it was a tale of a spirit or something that the Picts worshipped that comes from the ground and devours entire towns and then vanishes again for decades.
Uh-huh. Anything about how to take care of said thing?
Nope. It's a folk legend.
What?
Often, sacrifices were made to try to appease it.
Did the sacrifices work?
Supposedly.
Huh. While John is staking out whatever he's staking out, Amy would actually like go over to him. She's like, I have a question. I remember this folklore that I read once while I was seeing about school planning for the year. Sounds quite similar to what's happening now. And in the folklore, it said that sometimes people would sacrifice to appease said thing. Do sacrifices appease him?
Aye, sometimes when a town knows what's coming, able to prepare.
Is one person enough?
No.
How many?
Keep in mind the last time that worked was 700 years ago.
That's why it's a folklore.
13 warriors were sent to deal with him, but the town knew that they would not return.
Okay. Okay. She'll mull over that as things go on.
Amy, do you have the highest weird score of everyone?
Yeah?
Why don't you give me a roll?
Sure. Uh, 2, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. As you're talking to John, you feel all of you feel a faint rumbling beneath your feet.
John, does that mean it's time to go?
Aye.
Well. She'll go over to Judy, I guess. Wherever Judy's gonna post up with her rifle.
Henry, what are you doing?
I'm trying to look deep inside myself and find my courage to go on with this.
Okay. And Ian, you get the cars lined up where you want them. Judy, are you just posting up? Kind of.
Yeah.
hidden away with your gun?
I'm taking point on just the most straightaway thoroughfare of the road.
Okay.
Because the fog is a lot, but at least from a straight direction I can see a disturbance much easier.
Hmm. And Henry, that rumble you felt earlier gets a little bit stronger, just for you. Kind of like the ground shifts beneath your feet for a second. And you feel something wrap around your ankle. You can...
Guys!
And start pulling you into the earth. As the pavement beneath you splits and opens. You can make a body roll to try to pull away and escape.
Oh, yes.
And you, the rest of you hear Henry be like, guys, and like, probably, yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'll probably use a point of body, so. I think I'll use a point, and then I'll also use
Okay.
a point from the pool as well, so 2.
Okay.
That dropped. Oh, there we go. That was a 4, so that is 6.
Okay. Six is close. Now I will give a suggestion and an option. You can take a point of weird to increase, or multiple points of weird, or someone could take a point of weird to say that they gave you a knife earlier, baby, and spend some of their body to help you increase your roll. You don't need much.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? I just rolled to see if I'd do it.
Okay, so take a point of weird. I think this is your first one, which puts you at a 2.
Yes.
And how many points of body do you want to spend to increase Henry's?
Do we know the threshold?
Less than 3. Not going to tell you if it's 1 or 2, though, because this is interesting.
I'll give him 2.
Okay, that puts you at an 8. Henry, that's enough. Earlier,
And that
right
puts,
before...
and that puts me down to a 3, right?
Yes. Earlier, before she did walk off with the rifle, Judy reluctantly handed you a knife. And you are able to slash at what you realize are tree roots wrapping around your ankle, trying to pull you into the earth, and you cut yourself free. As the ground starts to shift and erupt around all of you, and you hear John yell in a deep, booming voice, "He's coming!" as the fog thickens around you. Now, Amy and Judy, you are posted up nearby with, well, Judy has a gun.
I have a ruler.
You have a ruler. Judy has two guns, actually.
Yeah.
And then, Ian, what do you do after you align the cars up? All of this is happening like right around the time you finish, but you can like do some. I'm giving you an option to like a chance to do something first.
And the nearest high ground that's within range of the rifle.
Okay. You're able to do that pretty easily.
Consider putting Henry out of his misery since he's about to get eaten, but I don't.
You're impressed though when you see Henry actually slash at the root going around his ankles. And then everything goes quiet for a second. We hear in the distance water splashing against the dock. Are you gonna do something, Amy?
I was rolling to see if Amy would go and try to like be by Henry's side, and I decided her self-preservation was a little too high for that.
Excellent.
She stays right with Judy.
And then all of a sudden, you see John Smith ripped down into the earth.
No!
We're fighting the bloody Green Knight!
When does the earth stay ripped open?
Yes.
Or
Yes. You see like just a tear in the pavement and a yawning gap in the ground where he just got pulled down into. It's like the ground just opened up beneath him and he fell. And you hear the sounds of struggling. He's not yelling. You just hear the sounds of him hitting something, basically, is what it sounds like.
Amy looks over at Judy. Do you have anything? Because I don't know what Judy grabbed, so.
For gaping holes in the ground?
To help.
How the fuck am I supposed to help here?
You have guns.
Yeah, and I can shoot John Smith. Can you see what's in the hole?
No, but I'm gonna go see what's
Okay,
in the
rule
hole.
number 1 of guns, you should probably be able to see what you're shooting at.
Okay, do you have anything other than guns?
I have a knife.
Okay.
You want to jump down in the hole and stab it?
Sure. Also, you should know, long time ago, a city appeased this thing by sacrificing 13 warriors. So just in case things go to shit, maybe gather up 13 people. And she puts out her hand for the knife.
I mean, I've also seen plenty of movies. She's getting the knife as she's doing.
Yeah.
I've also seen plenty of movies where we sacrifice a virgin. So have fun.
If that works, at least I will have gone to good use. And she runs off to the hole.
All right. Well,
to go protect Bear Man.
it's dark.
It is dark.
You run through the fog. You almost fall in the hole, but you don't. And you can hear the sounds of struggling. You hear wood breaking. You hear him like grunting in pain. You can't really see what's happening.
Are any of the cars nearby?
Yes.
I'm assuming a police car would have an extra torchlight, maybe?
Yes, probably.
Okay. She goes, she like shuffles over to the car. She's trying to be a little bit more careful, not knowing if there's any more holes.
Okay.
And goes into the car to rummage for
So you're getting a torch. Judy, what do you do? Sorry. Called you just as you took a drink.
Yeah, sorry, needed some water. I am gonna follow after her just to provide some coverage.
Okay.
Uh,
And that's what you're doing?
Huh?
Okay. Is there anything else in that? Sorry.
No, just staying at the ready. She's not being like too trigger happy in the moment, just mainly keeping an eye on Amy and the surrounding area around her, occasionally checking behind.
Okay. Ian, what are you doing at this point? You found another car basically to climb up on top of. That's the best you can get for high ground.
I haven't seen any monsters to shoot yet, so I wait.
Okay.
I'm watching these people jump in the hole going, that's dumb.
And Henry.
Amy, do you need any help if you're there? Whoever's down here, do you need help? With anything? I almost died in a hole. I don't know if you saw, per se.
Oh, Henry. Amy, you grab a torch and you turn around. You all see the light from the flashlight cut through the fog. And Amy, you heading back to the hole to see if you can see something?
Yes, I am.
You shine the light down into the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And you see black, twisted, gnarled roots wrapping around John Smith, biting into him. You see blood seeping through his clothes in different areas, and he is he's lost the gun at this point. He was like hitting it with it, but now he's just ripping tree branches and like the roots off of him, trying to free himself.
What is good besides fire? What is good against wood? Not a lot.
Not a whole hell of a lot.
No. Duty. Ooh. Judy, I'm gonna do some dumb things, but you should know you're my unofficial best friend. And you should maybe get some flares out of the car. As she like gets on her bum to like start sliding down into the hole. Fire would be good. And she like has like the like she has tiny hands, so I think it's enough for like her to like just basically like double grip this hunting knife to like start shanking things.
Are there road flares in the car?
Maybe.
I'm asking GM.
Yes, there are.
I'll crack a couple. I'll crack 2 and throw them on opposite side of where Amy went down, like one kind of behind where she went down and one a little forward.
Okay.
And just please don't call me your best friend.
You see the roots recoil away from the flares.
Uh-huh.
Find some more, Duty.
Amy, I'm gonna need you to make a body roll.
I know.
And this is going to be very challenging. Very, very, very challenging.
Uh-oh.
It's probably going to be nice knowing everybody. So, that's a 3 on the die.
That is not anywhere near enough. I am so sorry.
No, it's not.
You can empty the weird pool scene, which is going to increase your weird rating by quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Or someone can help doing similar.
Puppy lover over here in the chat. Empty the weird.
Yeah.
How many points left in the weird? Like 3?
I think it's 3. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Where does weird cap out on a personal sheet?
Doesn't.
Interesting.
I have no body to give. You know, I have so much soul. But
Yeah.
there's no.
Yeah, I have
Do it.
so
I
have so much
sacrifice
spirit.
because it makes sense for me. It's not going to be body though; it's going to be mind.
Okay.
I'll buy all the remaining weird and say that I forgot to put the nearest car and park it to neutral. It rolls in, lands on the tree.
So you actually only have to buy 1 to do
Yep.
that. And then
Okay.
you would take 1 weird, and then you're going to spend your mind. to
Doing it.
add
God,
to
we could
that.
do that.
And then Amy can still buy the remaining weird if needed. So,
If needed.
how many? Also, Puppy Lover is correcting me. It does actually cap at 10. Once you have 10 weird, you become part of the Veil. But how many
Not there yet.
are you going to? How much mind are you going to contribute?
All but my last point, so that would put her at 7.
7. That's close.
I will do the same thing he did, except I will use my soul.
Okay. And how many? So you're going to take a point of weird. There's 1 left in the
Yeah,
scene pool. And what are you going to do exactly, Henry?
How does soul work again?
So soul would be supernatural. So it would make sense for Henry to be the most spiritually inclined of this
He
group.
kind of goes, I don't know exactly if this is gonna work, and he kind of puts his hands together and starts speaking in ancient Latin. And just
Okay.
pointing ahead.
So kind of praying, kind of chanting, kind of trying to wish them success.
Yeah.
So you are gonna take a point of weird, and then how much soul are you going to spend?
I'm gonna give her 4.
So that brings it
Ooh.
up. Your roll up to an 11. That is enough.
I would hope
If it's not
so.
enough, I would be scared. And you with the knife, you are hacking at these roots, and you start to free John Smith as the car rolls into the pit above you and just takes tons of it down into this chasm that's opened up beneath you. What is everyone's weird pool at currently, please? I know Judy's at 2.
I'm at 4.
4, 4, and
Oh,
5.
there it is. There it
you
is.
go. So 5. Henry, can you make a weird roll for me, please?
Roll one of the. I wait. No, I
Yeah,
actually
roll.
do have one.
Yeah,
I
5
dropped
dice.
the dice on the floor.
Okay.
Alright, that's cool. Never mind. I'm just gonna roll this and then. So that's. Christ, I'm just. I keep dropping my dice. Oh, whatever. So that's for right now. So this is 3 so far. So I got a 4, a 1, and a 3, and then a 5 again and a 2.
Lovely. The crack in the earth that opened up starts to close with Amy and John Smith inside it.
Aha!
But
Aha!
you have freed John Smith from the roots as they pull away. And he grabs you and throws you up into the air with superhuman strength. And you come out and land on the ground outside the pit as he starts pulling himself up and out.
Once I saw her fly up into the air, I would have tried to catch her.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Make a body roll.
For me, that's going to be a 4.
Okay. That's enough. You're able to catch her, but you have to drop your gun to do so.
Okay.
And-
Sorry, we saw the same thing in chat at the same time.
Yep. And out of the fog, you see a figure walking towards you as John Smith narrowly pulls himself out of the hole as it closes in the earth.
I'm gonna say Amy doesn't notice the figure walking up because she's very much focused on John,
Okay.
who just narrowly escaped the chasm.
Yep.
So she's focused on him.
Okay. Well, the rest of you see a man, nicely dressed, kind of walk out of the darkness.
I'm going to pick my gun back up.
Clapping. Well done. Well done indeed. Who are your friends, Samuel?
Thought you said your
And-
name was John.
John spits out blood. It's kind of on his hands and knees. He climbs up to his feet. Are you
I'm going
done
to level
here?
the gun at the guy's head.
Okay. He ignores you. And John Smith or Samuel, are you done here? Oh, not by a long shot. This town is delicious. I think I'm gonna stick around for a while. How about you? John spits at the ground again. Less blood this time. Cracks his knuckles. He looks like he's about to charge the guy. What do you all do?
Is it clear to me that John is an adversary of this individual?
Oh yeah, he's about to charge him and attack him.
I'm going to shoot him in the head.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? You can all act at once.
Does John still have the shotgun?
No, he lost it in the pit.
Then Amy's handing
Just,
the
like,
knife.
sliding the knife over to him.
Yeah,
He
like
just-
she's just like.
You
she's
can
just
tell he's like barely paying attention. He just takes it from you.
Yeah.
He's just like, there's a weapon being handed to me. This is
Yeah.
a natural instinct. Ian.
I'm gonna, since it's close to the end, I'm gonna burn a bunch of soul and suddenly recall something I read once in one of those weird books I procured for someone about something just like this and aim for the weak spot that I recall. and
Okay.
fire.
Oh.
Okay, very nice. Okay. And well, and then Henry. Sorry.
I think Henry, he's gonna try to see if there's any more flares that he can get to throw at this guy.
And Amy, Judy's gonna holler for Amy to get behind her, like as she, like right before she fires. Just very like, get behind me! Poof.
All right. So, Amy slides behind Judy. Judy fires. Ian also fires, and Henry grabs a flare and throws it. All right. So, Henry, I'm going to have you roll body. And I'm going to ask both Judy and Ian to roll mind.
Mm.
I spend point in body. for
Okay.
this.
Do I? So
Two.
since I'm rolling mind, would I spend mind points for this?
Yes, but you can take a point of weird from the pool, which there is one left, to roll something else instead. Just give me a good argument for it. Ian, or Henry, what did you get? Okay.
Two.
So
You,
Sorry, to make-
throw a flare at the guy. It's not hard.
sorry to make sure I understand, because I can spend as many points up to my last remaining one as I have in a pool. So like my mind is 4, but my spirit is 6. But I could take a weird to do spirit instead.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I'm gonna take the last weird point
Okay.
so I can roll spirit instead, and I will add. What does spirit represent again?
Soul represents the supernatural. So this would be kind of like you understand that these people, this guy is not human as you understand it. So maybe just shooting him in the head isn't the right course of action, and you are going to try something different. But
Okay,
You
yeah,
tell
I've
me
watched
what.
enough Twilight Zone, so I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna add 4 of my spirit points.
fantastic. Okay.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Was that a 6?
That's a 9 total.
Perfect. Ian, you remember that something you read, maybe this is the same thing. It feeds on fear, so perhaps its stomach is its weak point. So you shift your aim and aim for the abdomen.
We're gonna give him a belly full of lead.
And did you roll already?
Yeah,
Okay. What'd you
I
get?
burned all of my mind, so it's used. I just
all,
spent.
all?
Yes,
So you're at 0.
it goes to spent. Yes.
Ooh, so that's scratched out, and you lose,
Mhm.
start to lose your grasp on what is real and what is not. What did you get?
9.
9 and 9, perfect. Okay, so you both fire as John Smith, Samuel, takes the knife from Amy, and she scoots behind Judy and charges him. And you both shoot him directly in the stomach. You hear an ear-shattering wail come from him, which just breaks you, Ian,
Uh-oh.
as Samuel collides with him and just starts stabbing down into his stomach as well with the knife. And everything starts to fade.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And you all wake up. Your beds. Saturday morning. Tired.
Hmm.
Very tired. Except for Ian, by the way. Sorry, I'm sure. Except for Ian. Judy, Amy, and Henry, you wake up. It's a Saturday morning in Solemn Vale, a small, sleepy village, northeast coast of England. I would like each of you, in turn, to make a final weird roll with your current score.
Like roll the points that we have in weird.
Yep. So you roll the points you have in weird. You roll that many dice, and you tell me what you
Okay.
get, including you, Ian, by the way.
Oh no. 6, 5, and 5.
6, 5, and 5. Great. Thank you, Amy. How about you?
Oh no. I don't like when you're that happy about a roll.
1, 2, 3, 3.
1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. All right. Ian, what'd you get?
You're gonna love this because it's in line with my rolls tonight.
Mhm.
1 snake eyes,
Mhm.
3 6s.
Amazing. And Henry.
2 1s, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Am I the only one who didn't roll a 6?
So I'm going to start with you, Amy.
Hi.
It's Saturday. No school for the weekend.
Do I remember
No.
anything? No.
It's like a
So,
bad. You had terrible nightmares the night before,
terrible nightmares. Okay.
but you don't really remember what happened in them.
But I'm just achy.
Very tired. Seems like you were running a marathon in your sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
Henry. Libraries are open on weekends. You wake up. You remember having a terrible nightmare about some monster attacking you and some people. I guess you'd call them friends. Some of your confidants from the bar. Something weird happening. It was a strange dream. You're very tired, and your ankle is throbbing.
I think the camera would just cut to him throwing out any alcohol into the trash can.
Okay. Judy,
Yeah.
you wake up. Where do you live? Like above your bar, or do you have a house separate from it?
A house separate from it, but not far.
Okay.
Like just a couple streets over.
You wake up in a panic. You remember bits and pieces of what happened.
No.
If you go and check your bar, your guns are all missing.
Mhm.
Bar's been broken into. Some of your booze is missing. You have a pounding headache. And you distinctly remember protecting Amy. But you don't remember from what.
Just gonna have a brief moment. And
You know you like me.
she's gonna have that moment, but then grab her overcoat and make her way to visit Amy.
Ian,
This will be good.
it's dark. It's wet. Your cavern underground somewhere. You remember everything. And your mouth is full of dirt. And you can't move.
Okay.
And you hear, other than water dripping, someone humming nearby. Just an old song that you know as a marching song from the war.
If I can't move, I choose to find it relaxing.
Okay. And the rest of you, Judy, if you, after you check on Amy, perhaps try to check on the others. It is like Ian never lived in the town. Shop is gone. His house abandoned, run down. No one else remembers him but you. As Solemn Vale claims, another victim. In the town, the spirit that haunts it rests for another 100 years. That is Solemn Vale.
That's great.
I would like to thank all of my players for joining me on this journey this evening. I hope that the sudden shift in tone at the end wasn't too jarring.
No, it was good.
No.
He died.
You know, if Amy would have remembered anything, she would just have a crush on like 1,000-year-old dude, and it's totally fine.
I would like to thank all of our viewers for hanging out with us this evening and enjoying this game. I hope you all had fun. I hope you learned a little bit about Solemn Vale and are interested in it. I will drop the link again in a minute, but Solemn Vale is a forthcoming game that was recently kickstarted by Dirty Vortex, which is a indie TTRPG company based in the United States. Solemn Vale is a interesting folk horror game that uses a system that Dirty Vortex, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, what the system is called. It's weird something. But they're developing it into a couple different game lines. So you can find more information on their website, which I will drop the link to, and I hope that you check it out and support them. It's a great game, and I really enjoy it. I would like to give all of my players an opportunity to introduce themselves again, say where you can find them, anything interesting and cool they have coming up in the near future, and then I will close this out. So we will start with Chris.
Hi everybody. Again, my name is Chris. You can find me on Twitter at VO_Cologne. That's COLON. I'm primarily a voice actor, but in terms of, so you can check out my website and stuff there. In terms of stuff I'm doing, I'm gonna be here Monday. Every week at 7:30. I'm gonna be on a Gehenna Gaming, doing Gehenna Academy. Play all the words in my head. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing. I play Isaac the Fury with a bunch of other awesome people. This week we're gonna be at a cult meetup, so that's gonna be great. We'll see how that turns out. And also,
let us know what you think about Mantra.
Yeah, believe me, we're all in that game. We're all just like, we don't trust you, and you're Mormons. But you could also later in the month, I'm gonna be part of a Avatar: The Last Airbender sort of tournament at Critical Bits.
Awesome.
So I'm also doing that. It's later in the month, so it's like 48 people. So we're just going head to head and see who lives.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Very cool. I know a couple other people who are playing in that.
I'm with Wes.
Game. Yeah, nice. Very cool. And then we'll jump over to Savannah.
Hi, I'm Savannah. You can find me online at Miss Emo Fox. You can find me 4 days a week over on Vorpal Tales. You can find me there tomorrow, continuing session 2 of Cult Divinity Lost, where I play my not so nice character. It's my one not nice character. She's not nice to get along with. Otherwise, you can also find me just on my regular old Twitch channel, playing some games, hanging out. You can also find me there tomorrow morning playing with another Vorpal Tales cast member, Oh Hello Mare. We play Stardew Valley in the morning.
That's a lovely way to wake up in the morning. I usually play
Isn't it?
Power Wash Simulator. And then I will hand it over to Ellie next.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellie. I'm the events manager here at Gehenna Gaming. Thank you all so much for joining us. I am also the storyteller for ATL by Night, which is currently in our 6th season. You can see us every Tuesday night at twitch.tv/ATL by Night. We've got a lot going on right now. One of our PCs is currently on trial for treason. So feel free to come over and check it out. It is a stressful time. And you can follow me on Twitter at Ellie_A_Collins or at ATL by night everywhere else.
Wonderful. And I want to thank our friends from Vorpal Tales from joining us this evening, and hand it over to you to finish out the cast.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was awesome. And I am Tyler, Eldritch Echoes Online. Always great to be over on Gehenna Gaming. And I am one of the showrunners for Vorpal Tales. And we are doing all kinds of horror because it's October. You can catch me running Cult Divinity Lost on Sundays, Mythos World on Mondays, Pathfinder, Gothic Horror on Thursdays, and SCP the RPG on Saturdays. And then you can watch me play Delta Green and Cthulhu on Mondays and Fridays.
Fantastic. Some of my favorite games, actually. And I have been your game master for the evening, Ian E. Muller. I am the founder of Gehenna Gaming. I am our main showrunner, as well as the kind of head of everything we do here. If you like what you see, please support us by subscribing here, subscribing to us over on YouTube, or backing us on Patreon and all the other fun places where you can do these things. We have a lot of really cool content coming up in October and November. I'm really excited for some of the stuff that we are working on, and we'll be announcing very soon. You can find me here on Wednesdays, where I do horror video game Let's Plays. I'm currently in the middle of Resident Evil 7, having a lot of fun playing that. You can find me here on this channel next Saturday, doing our first of a month of charity one-shots for October, where I am going to be running Call of Cthulhu inspired by The Mummy for a very, very fantastic all-star cast. I'm debating if I want to say who's in that game.
No, let it be a surprise, because
let me just say,
people are going to freak when they see the cast list.
It's very cool. We are going to be raising money for Rain for that game, so make sure you check that out. There will be an announcement and possibly tomorrow, if not Monday, about that. And then make sure you tune in on Monday for Gehenna Academy, our Monsterhearts 2 actual play, which Chris is in, and our Twitch and marketing manager Nick Francia runs. It's a really good game. It's a really horror-focused take on Monsterhearts. I'm a big fan of it, which I'm actually not a huge fan of Monsterhearts as a game by itself. Conceptually, I like the way it's just designed. I want to specify that. But I really enjoy what Nick does with it. And then, stay tuned. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up. You can also find me on the internet as @Ravnos on Twitter, or Ravnos13 and other places. And you can also find me over on the other channel that Ellie and I run called Sugar Axe, where we do a lot of non-horror video game streaming together, where I play games that she really likes and she makes fun of me and how bad I am at them, and vice versa sometimes.
We're in the middle of him playing Dream Daddy, so
yes.
Yes.
Dream Daddy and Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
He
those
just
out.
met Iron Bull, so
Oh my god.
And occasionally I randomly stream there in the mornings while I drink my morning coffee and play Power Wash Simulator, which there is supposed to be new content for soon, so that's going to be a thing in the very near future. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the game. I will drop some links in chat. I want to thank one last time our sponsor, Elderwood Academy, for sponsoring us, and I want to thank our patrons, Rob Pontius, Vale, and Aid, or Ashley Rosano, for supporting us over on Patreon. You can find links all over the place. I will post them in a second, but have a good night. Make sure you follow all these wonderful people. It's been a joy running this game for you, and I hope you all really enjoyed Solemn Vale this evening. Have a good night.
Bye.